Yeah. Only an hour show today.
Yep.
Good job, Nick. We start with
tune in for motivation.
I thought that was great.
And we're not on like they.
Well, that would be
what are they going to do?
Motivation's coming early.
New look Lakers win. LeBron goes for 21-6-6 with his new teammates, bro.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, Mo Bamba. Here's LeBron after the game.
We got a lot of work to do still, every game is going to be tough for us, especially going on the stretch. We knowing the type of push that we need to make. I want the guys to enjoy the break, but don't get 100% detached because we want to come back and try to keep this thing going. I feel really good about what we have brewing, but it's going to take a lot of commitment from us going down the stretch. So I look forward to that.
I mean, that's what Brew was telling us because we have Friday off. He's like, you know what? Don't totally detach.
Exactly.
No, absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Do you expect the Lakers to turn it around after
Yes.
the All-Star game? Wow.
Wow.
Enough of a turnaround, Nick, to get into the play-in.
Wow.
And the only reason I'm limiting it to the play-in is because I do expect LeBron and AD to miss a few of these games. They got, 23 games left. I think they'll miss a few. But look, bringing in D'Angelo Russell and Malik Beasley, those are shooters that stretches the floor around LeBron and AD.
Yep.
And Jared Vanderbilt, that's what they started last night, those five. I don't know if that's going to be their permanent lineup, but Vanderbilt's a great defender. So you got him and AD out there now. Vanderbilt's long and athletic. And then the bench, I've always liked Schroeder. You guys have heard me talk about him. Obviously, Austin Reeves. Mo Bamba brings length. He's a 7-footer who's athletic. So I think they'll make a push, and I think they move ahead of New Orleans is just in free fall.
New Orleans in real trouble.
Right. They're
really
7-17 since New Year's Eve.
And Zion on the board doesn't play again this year.
Not great.
Like.
Very, very good chance. So I think New Orleans, Portland, and either OKC or I got Utah, Portland falling out, and OKC or New Orleans. One of those.
So
I think those are the teams.
Do you think when you say the play, before I give my answer, I just want to dig into it for a moment. Do you think they could get to the 7 or 8 line? Because there is a huge difference between being the 7 or the 8 and you only have to win once, or the 9-10 where you have to go 2 for 2 to make the actual playoffs.
I think they have a shot. I'm not going to write that in, but I think they have a shot at getting to the 7 or 8.
So this really is, can they go 14-9 the rest of the way? 14-9 would put them at exactly 500, and that will definitely get you into the play-in. I don't know if it'll be the 10 seed or the 8 seed, but that'll get you in. They have the 60th easiest schedule remaining, and they only have, and I think this is critical, 3 back-to-backs remaining, because at this point, I don't think we anticipate LeBron's going to be playing, but maybe their final back-to-back of the year, if they're in a spot where they have to win out to make it, he would do it. But ultimately, Wilds, this is an Anthony Davis question, in my opinion. The question, because Anthony Davis was good yesterday after his first good game since the game when LeBron broke the scoring record and he seemed detached and had been playing poorly.
No, he was just locked in because they were losing.
Yeah, of course. If Anthony Davis is able, he doesn't even have to play at the level he was playing at in the beginning of the year, that stretch where it was like, this is the best basketball Anthony Davis has played as a Laker. If he can simply play around the level he was at last night, then there's no reason whatsoever the Lakers shouldn't be able to claw their way with this schedule that they have the rest of the way into the play-in.
So you don't have them going above the play-in?
No, I don't. No, I don't think they're going to jump 6 teams. Now, I will tell you, depending on how they look, if they get in, do I think they actually could be a tough matchup for the number 1 seed Denver Nuggets? Possibly. Depending on, again, we got to see these guys.
AD can outplay Jokic.
AD can outplay Jokic. We've seen him do it in the postseason before. And now, obviously, Jokic has gotten better since then, and AD hasn't seemed to. But this to me is all about Anthony Davis. And is Anthony Davis over whatever was maligning him the last couple weeks?
Strong maybe. The next 4 games out of the All-Star game, Brew. Golden State at home, then at Dallas with Kyrie. That'll be a fun game. At Memphis, you'll take an L on that one, and at Frisky Thunder.
And Minnesota's
sneaky good.
Well.
Can I interest you in a player? It's not a blind resume. I'm just going to read it.
Okay.
8.5 points, 7 rebounds, shoots 39% from the field, 35% from 3, and doesn't play defense, but has good chemistry. Little Kevin Love buyout market. Are you interested at all?
If I'm the Lakers?
Yeah.
I am.
I am too.
Maybe for camaraderie. I mean, he's got LeBron's guy.
Hit some
maybe.
threes. Hit a corner three or two.
Okay.
And a little added
don't
front
hate
court
it,
depth if we do think LeBron's going to have to, they have 23 games left. We think LeBron's going to miss more than 2 or 3 of those games. Having a little extra front court depth.
Who's he
bad.
guarding, though?
Well, nobody.
Okay.
The answer's nobody.
I don't know if those 8 points are going to make up for the 18 he gives up.
Hit some open threes. Headed into All-Star, we have the results of the unofficial MVP
Sweet Jesus,
straw
man.
poll. Tim Bontemps wrote a great article. Here's the results. Out of 100 votes, Joker got 77 first-place votes, bro. My guy Giannis only got 11.
What are we doing?
Well, Brew, you're the official voter on the squad. Are you okay with this?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. You guys know I have 4 criteria. Because the great thing, and I guess maybe the exasperating thing to some people, is there's no criteria. So one voter might think it's best player on best team.
Yep.
One guy might have a totally different criteria. My criteria, individual dominance as witnessed by your statistics, team success, supporting cast, and historical precedent.
Yep.
And with this matchup with these 3, I'm going to throw in another one head-to-head, which is hard to do.
I like that.
It's only one of 80. They only play a couple times in 82-game schedule. However, Giannis and Embiid haven't played head-to-head. Jokic missed. Giannis and Jokic.
Yep.
Jokic missed the game. Giannis and Embiid have played twice. They split the wins, and it's kind of very close.
And if you remember on that note, last year, there was that Embiid-Jokic matchup, and Embiid could have taken potentially the game-winning 3. He kicked it to the corner, and a lot of people said that could have been his MVP moment.
I thought about that.
But go ahead.
And this year, in the MVP moment, when Embiid met Jokic, demolished him. 47 points, 18 rebounds, and Jokic was guarding him most of the game. And he just abused him in every single way.
And the fourth quarter was guarding him on every single one of Embiid's
and
buckets.
could do nothing with him. Hit a step-back 3 in his face to seal the game. But here's the thing. When we go individual dominance, here's the statistics. Jokic is averaging a triple-double, which is phenomenal. However, let's be honest, the triple-double's been a bit watered down in terms of significance because Russell Westbrook did it 4 times. I voted for Westbrook when he got it because we didn't think we'd ever see that again. Now it's not
3 more
quite,
times and nobody cares.
Right, it's
But
not
to
quite
his
what
credit, Joker doesn't care either. Like he was asked about it, he's like, I don't care.
Sure.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal player. But Giannis has Jokic is averaging 5 more assists than Giannis almost. Giannis is averaging 8 more points. And then more rebounds. And I think the free throw attempts is huge. He's getting to the line 13 times. Jokic is getting there 6 times. That's huge because it gets the defense in foul trouble and everything else.
I like that.
I would go with Giannis right now because he's without, as you know, Chris Middleton, second best player for all season. They got the second best record in the league. He's a far better defender. He would be my guy right now.
This is why this is exasperating for me. Because you guys joke around. You're like, you hate Jokic, but he always shows up on the medal stand. I don't hate Jokic. I said a few years ago I thought he should be second in MVP to Chris Paul. Last year I had him 3rd behind Luka and Giannis, if I remember correctly when we discussed it. My problem is that it feels to me like the voters changed the rules to make it apply to Jokic. Last year we were told the record essentially does not matter. The Nuggets had the 11th best record in basketball, the 6th seed in the West, and we were told, nope, doesn't matter. Look at his advanced numbers. This year, what I'm hearing is, well, they're the 1 seed. You now can't say he's doing it and they're not winning. But in a league where, as you say, it's never been easier, some think, to score 30.
Right.
And you have all these guys averaging 30. He's averaging 24.5 points a game. Now, he is doing it on a wildly efficient level, almost unprecedented efficiency.
But everybody's efficiency is great now.
But when you say, and here's the other thing, when you say historical precedents, Giannis won back-to-back MVPs. The next year, he averaged 28, 11, and 6 on 57%. He got 1 vote.
Right.
Because as far back as 3 years ago, everyone kind of agreed, we're not giving you all the MVPs until you show it in the postseason. And Jokic, since he has started winning MVPs, they are 5-8 in the playoffs. And I understand people are yelling at their television screens, Wild, saying it has nothing to do with the playoffs, it has nothing to do with previous seasons, it's this year in a vacuum. And to those people I would say, you are wrong. We have 70 years of MVP voting to show us it is not just this year in a vacuum. And I care about this because I think this is the most important award in professional sports in this country. I think that the NBA MVP has the most prestige, and the list, there are no like, wait, that guy won an MVP like there is in the NFL when the kicker won it, and it matters. And we are rewriting what is been the precedent forever. We haven't even talked about that it'd be his third straight, which has been done once since Wilton Russell did it, and it was Larry Bird in the mid-'80s, and he ain't Larry Bird.
And all three guys that won it, Russell obviously won a championship almost every year. Wilt was winning his second championship he won his first championship in the second straight MVP out of his three. And Bird won 2 during his 3-year MVP run. And Jokic hasn't even gotten to the finals. I think that's, look, I think to drive home your point of how important it is, in the current, those of us who are watching it happen, we have the context. We see Steve Nash won 2 MVPs. Isaiah Thomas won none. We understand he's not better than Isaiah. But down the line, people that didn't see them play will say, wow, maybe Nash was better than Isaiah because he's got the 2 straight MVPs, and he deserved them. And if Jokic, Nick, if he was head and shoulders above everybody else, and there was no one else doing it for injuries or whatever the reason, I would go with him. I wouldn't let the 3 straight stop me.
It's 77% of the people polled.
But that to me
close.
is an example.
No, I think they're driven by the metrics.
It is
the
groupthink.
Stats,
and I would, can I just ask this simple question?
Because what about
of those guys, when it comes to it's the postseason or it's a huge game, we have to get a bucket. Is Nikola Jokic's #1 pick for anybody? The answer is no.
Oh, literally.
And how about guarding somebody?
And that's the second question. It's a huge spot. We have to get a stop. Do you even necessarily want him on the floor? When the other 2 guys we're talking about are 2 of the best in the league. If you are going to win 3 straight MVPs, you have to be so far clearly the best player in the league, plus postseason success. But they're going to do it, and the award's going to lose.
You agree? To me, it's those 3. Luka, they're 7th seed right now.
No, I think Luka's falling out. But
let's get to Russ. We got to get to Russ. We got to just quickly on Russ. Is he headed back to the Clippers? Strong maybe. Shams reporting the Clippers currently in talks with the former MVP. Clippers players, Brew, very outspoken in their support. Quick review of his numbers last time he played with Paul George and the Thunder.
Oh, phenomenal.
Really good. So we know that's a fit. Do you like this, Matt?
Yes, I want him with the Clippers. They traded Reggie Jackson and John Wall. They have no point guards other than Bones Highland, who's a nice little backup. Russ would be good there. I'm not predicting championship yet, but his energy with Kawhi and Paul George, and neither of them is ball dominant, so I think they would be good fits. And Paul George had his best season, Nick. You remember that, in OKC with Russ.
I'm so shocked right now.
Absolute best fit for him.
Truly, it might be where he should want to be, but that does not mean the Clippers should want him. We're in a weird spot with Russ where, like, it feels like some people feel the need to, defend Russ the human being because he gets so criticized, Russ the player. Everybody knows Russ is a great guy. And the stories about him tipping all the attendants and doing all these things, that's fine. That does not divorce yourself at all from this fact. He is incapable of being part of winning basketball at this point in his career. If you are trying, he's been on 5 teams in 5 years.
Well, Washington went as far as they could. You
think that if you're trying to win a championship, you want Russell Westbrook?
Absolutely. He doesn't have to play 35 minutes a night.
I'm shocked. I thought we could do this very quickly because I thought we'd all say it was insane.
So where do you think he should go? Nowhere? No place in the league?
If I'm trying to win, I don't want Russell Westbrook on my team. I love the guy. He's a Hall of Famer. At his peak, was one of my favorite players to ever watch. There is a reason that he keeps getting moved around, and there is a reason that he has not evolved into even a slightly different version of himself, except that he's less athletic and less efficient. It doesn't work.
We'll leave that there. We have some sad news before we go. Fox Sports in the baseball world